Bill, when you and I met and started doing work together, the strange thing was I didn't know specifically what I was looking for. I just knew that I wasn't where I wanted to be. I know I was still looking to make improvements that were not there. I'd read lots of books. I joined different groups and didn't really meet with the success that I felt that was out there. I had a lot of frustration in my life in terms of my profession. I didn't have the results that I felt like I should be having in that business, and I was just looking for help, really. But I would say it's unspecific. Like I didn't know where to go into Barnes and Noble and look in the business sections of where I needed the help. In fact, when I hired you, I didn't know the journey I was about to embark upon. I think I've always been very intuitive, and there was something that led me to believe that you could help me in ways that I hadn't been helped yet. That was just a feeling that I had, and of course, you were pretty confident that you got great results for your clients, but I'd worked with a business coach before. I really valued the work that I did with him, but it was very numbers oriented, and it didn't give me a lot of guidance as far as some of the meetings that I was going to be going on, or some of the different areas that I wanted to go. When I hired you, Bill, I definitely got a sense early on that you were going to help me with clarity in my life. Now, as I look back, I realized I didn't have any clarity. There was too many stories, and there was too many things that were being put out there that were really blocking my effectiveness. You pointed out to me that I was pretty angry when you met me, and that's not really how I saw myself. But as I look back, I realized that there's a lot of things that, whether you want to call it angry, you want to call it frustrated, it doesn't really matter. It's all in the same bucket, and it wasn't a great way to live. Those times are definitely behind me now. There's just a different set of waypoints we've been down as we've traveled along together, working together, and it's really helped me understand where I need to be in the moment when I'm communicating with others. Reacting to what's coming towards me is just a different way of handling it than the way that it was. We started working together, I believe 2017. Anyway, we've been working together for coming up on 5 years now. We first started working together. There was some sale of some real estate that was not an easy path, selling that real estate. Things came up that were not desirable at all. I know that the work that we were doing together at the time helped me out quite a bit. It gave me a lot more peace about the overall transaction. I had also made a rather large shift in the way that my business was structured. The change that we made in our business was significant, and it was something that would have, I don't know how else to say it, except for I think it would have felt pretty traumatic had we not been working together. And through conversation we had about the approach of making that shift, it wasn't traumatic. It was actually strangely easy. And at the end of that, I was so grateful for our work that we were doing together, because at that moment I realized that that's how it was going to go from now on. Like these things that were really throwing to me in the past didn't have to be that way. And a lot of that had to do with past feelings that I had about how things would go in the future. And so you taught me that the only thing that was real was what was happening now in the moment. The things that happened in the past, they happened. We can choose to do whatever we want with those things, but we don't really have a total understanding of what's happening in the future. What we do have a clear understanding of is what's happening right now. And so that's been really valuable to me. There's plenty of lessons that I've learned from you, or things that you've helped me reframe the way that I see it, that's been amazingly beneficial. And the reason that I continue to work with you, and we will for quite some time, is that I'm always interested when we meet that the things that I tell you about what's going on in my business or in my life, your insights there are fresh, but they're also always very much on point. And I can tell you that not always do I see them the way that you see them, which is incredibly valuable to me. But when you point them out to me and show that, or explain them to me in the perspective that you're seeing them from, it's still my choice as far as how I would go forward. But I just value that insight. And actually, to that point, as I'm telling you about that, I always thought that I was pretty good at making decisions because the choices that we have coming up in front of us it's very limiting to be that black and white in your decisions. And so the power of choice that you helped me understand has been really amazing. And so sometimes it means that decisions are made a little bit slower. That's fine. And I used to not be good with having slow decisions. I used to think that was a sign of weakness or actually indecision. And it's not. To make a decision slower has been amazingly powerful. If you're already where you need to be, stay there. If you're not, hire Bill.